If you only have $8,000 in 2026, do not buy a cheap new car. Consumer Reports says one type of used car makes way more sense, and it's not what dealers want you to buy. We're talking low repair costs, 200,000-mile potential, and reliability that still shocks people. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this boring choice could be the smartest financial move you make all year. Here's the reality of the used car market in 2026. Prices have stabilized compared to the insane pandemic years, but they're still much higher than pre-2020 levels. Most cars you'll find around $8,000 today already have 120,000 to 170,000 miles, sometimes even more. Interest rates are still painful, which means financing even a cheap car can quietly cost you thousands in interest. And those mythical brand new cars under $20,000, almost gone. So if you're shopping with cash, depreciation is actually your secret weapon, because someone else already took the massive value hit for you. Consumer Reports doesn't just pick cars based on hype or brand image. Their rankings are built on massive datasets, decade-long reliability trends, real owner satisfaction scores, repair frequency, average repair costs, safety testing results, parts availability, and even insurance cost data. This is why their recommendations matter, because they're not guessing, they're measuring. And when they look at the $8,000 budget zone, one category keeps dominating. The type of car that makes the most sense with $8,000 in 2026 is simple, almost boring, and incredibly powerful, compact Japanese sedans that are about 8 to 12 years old. These cars are everywhere. They've been refined over multiple generations, and they're built around proven, naturally aspirated engines that just keep running. Parts are cheap, mechanics know them inside and out, and if you're even slightly handy, many maintenance tasks are DIY-friendly. This is the category that quietly saves people thousands of dollars over the life of the car. In that $8,000 range, you'll often see strong examples like the 2013 to 2015 Toyota Corolla, the 2012 to 2014 Honda Civic, the 2014 to 2016 Mazda 3, and even older Toyota Camrys, from around 2011 to 2013 if you're okay with higher mileage. The Honda Fit is another underrated gem. These cars regularly hit 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. Traditional automatic transmissions in many of these models have proven durability, fuel economy sits around 30 to 35 miles per gallon, and overall ownership costs are among the lowest on the road. But here's what Consumer Reports and smart buyers say you should not buy with $8,000. European luxury cars like BMW, Audi, and Mercedes might look tempting, but their repair costs can destroy your budget fast, and complex electronics add expensive failure points. High-mileage turbo SUVs are another trap. Turbos, AWD systems, and heavy drivetrains mean expensive repairs waiting to happen. First-year redesigned models often have hidden issues that weren't fully ironed out, and some early cheap CVT models have known failure histories that can turn an $8,000 car into a $12,000 nightmare. And let's talk about SUVs, because this is where most buyers make emotional decisions. At $8,000, SUVs usually don't make financial sense. They often have higher mileage because people use them for hauling and long trips. Fuel economy is worse. Since suspension components are more worn, AWD systems add complexity and cost, and tires are larger and more expensive. Sedans may not look as cool, but financially they are almost always the smarter move in this budget. When you break down ownership costs, the difference becomes even clearer. A compact sedan usually has lower insurance, 30-plus miles per gallon, predictable maintenance, and smaller, cheaper tires. An older SUV? Higher insurance, 18 to 22 miles per gallon, more expensive maintenance, and tires that can cost double. Smart buyers don't just think about purchase price, they think about total cost of ownership over 5 or 10 years. Here's the hidden advantage in 2026 that most people overlook. Simpler pre-2016 cars have fewer electronics to fail, no subscription features, no complex infotainment systems tied to cloud services, no expensive sensors everywhere. At this budget, you're also avoiding complicated hybrid battery risks. And because these models are so common, resale is easier when you eventually move on. So here's the twist. $8,000 in 2026 doesn't buy something flashy. It buys something financially powerful. It buys reliability, predictability, and freedom from massive repair bills. In the car world, boring is profitable. And the people who understand that quietly win. Would you buy a 10-year-old Corolla or gamble on a cheap, newer SUV? And what's the best car you've ever owned under $10,000 that just refused to die? Drop your story in the comments, because some of the smartest car advice doesn't come from dealers or ads. It comes from real owners who figured this out the hard way. And if you're watching this thinking, yeah, but I want something that feels modern, remember this. Modern often means expensive to fix. Touchscreens fail, sensors glitch, modules need programming, and suddenly a small problem turns into a dealership-only repair bill. With these older, proven sedans, most mechanics can diagnose and fix issues quickly, and parts are everywhere. That's a huge advantage when every dollar matters. Another thing Consumer Reports data quietly shows is how ownership satisfaction stays high with these simple, compact cars. People don't fall in love with them because they're exciting. They love them because they start every morning. They don't surprise you with massive bills, and they just keep going. That peace of mind is something you can't really put a price on, especially if $8,000 is your entire car budget. And here's a psychological trick smart buyers use. They treat the car like a tool, not a trophy. A flashy car might impress strangers for 5 seconds, but a reliable car impresses your bank account for years. Every dollar you don't spend on repairs is a dollar you can invest, save, or use to upgrade later when your financial situation is stronger. So when Consumer Reports points to these compact Japanese sedans, they're not just talking about transportation, they're talking about a strategy to minimize risk, control costs, and get maximum value out of every mile you drive. Because at this budget level, the goal isn't to look rich, it's to avoid becoming poor because of a car. And the craziest part, many of these cars will still be on the road long after newer. More expensive vehicles have been scrapped due to electronic failures or repair costs that exceed their value. That's why you still see 15 and 20-year-old Corollas and Civics everywhere. They're quietly built to last, and owners keep them alive because it actually makes financial sense. So if you're sitting on $8,000 in 2026 and you want the smartest possible move, ignore the hype, ignore the pressure from dealers, and focus on proven reliability, simple engineering, and low running costs. Because the best car isn't the one that looks impressive in your driveway, it's the one that never drains your wallet while you're asleep at night. And before you even hand over that $8,000, there's one more thing smart buyers do that Consumer Reports strongly recommends. They inspect and verify everything. A pre-purchase inspection can cost $100 to $200, but it can save you thousands by catching hidden issues like oil leaks, worn suspension, transmission problems, or accident damage. In this price range, condition matters more than brand. A well-maintained Civic with 160,000 miles can be a better buy than a neglected Corolla with 120,000 miles. Maintenance history is gold. If the owner has records for oil changes, timing belt or chain services, brake work, and transmission fluid changes, that's a huge green flag. These cars are reliable, but they're not magic. They still need basic care. The difference between a great $8,000 car and a terrible one is often just how the previous owner treated it. And here's a powerful mindset shift. Instead of asking, "What's the coolest car I can buy for $8,000?" ask, "What's the cheapest car to own for the next 5 years?" That question completely changes your decision. Suddenly, that boring Corolla or Civic becomes a financial asset instead of just transportation. You're buying predictable expenses, stable resale value, and fewer surprises. Consumer Reports also highlights how these cars score well in safety for their era. While they don't have the latest driver assistance tech, they still have solid crash structures, airbags, ABS, and stability control in most trims. That means you're not just saving money, you're still driving something reasonably safe and proven. And if you really want to optimize, you can negotiate even harder in this segment. Private sellers often price emotionally, not logically. Showing them comparable listings, pointing out needed maintenance, and being ready with cash can easily knock hundreds or even thousands off the price. At $8,000, every $500 saved is a big deal. So the $8,000 car strategy in 2026 is simple but powerful. Buy boring, buy proven, buy maintained. Let someone else take the depreciation hit, let someone else pay for the fancy tech that will eventually fail, and step in when the value is maximized and the risk is minimized. That's how you turn a small budget into a smart financial move instead of a stressful mistake. And there's another hidden benefit most people completely overlook. When you buy a simple, older compact sedan, you gain flexibility. If your income changes, if you move, or if you decide to upgrade in a few years, you're not locked into a massive loan or upside-down equity. You can sell it, keep it as a backup car, or even hand it down to a family member without worrying about huge losses. That kind of financial flexibility is insanely valuable, especially in uncertain economic times. Consumer Reports also notes that these cars tend to have huge online communities and DIY support. You can find tutorials, forums, and YouTube guides for almost every repair imaginable. That means even small fixes, like replacing a battery, brake pads, or a sensor, can be done cheaply or even at home. Compare that to newer vehicles where even basic repairs require dealer software and proprietary tools. That's not just inconvenient, it's expensive. And think about the insurance side. Insurers love boring, reliable sedans. They're cheaper to insure, less likely to be stolen compared to high-demand SUVs and trucks, and repairs are predictable. Over 5 years, you could save thousands just on insurance premiums compared to a newer or more expensive vehicle. Now, some people will say, but I want an SUV for space. Here's the truth. For most daily driving, a compact sedan is more than enough. Groceries, commuting, road trips, even light moving, it all fits. And if you really need extra space once or twice a year, renting a bigger vehicle is often cheaper than owning one full-time. Owning an SUV for occasional needs is like buying a pickup truck just to move a couch once. So when you zoom out and look at the big picture, Consumer Reports' logic becomes clear. At $8,000, you're not just buying a car, you're buying a low-risk financial tool, something that gets you from point A to point B while quietly protecting your wallet. And this is where most people get it wrong. They stretch their budget. Or to finance a newer car, pay thousands in interest, then spend even more on repairs and insurance. Meanwhile, the person driving a boring 10-year-old Corolla is stacking savings, investing, and upgrading later from a position of strength. So if you're watching this and trying to make the smartest possible move in 2026, remember this one line: boring cars build rich people, and flashy cars often build debt. Keep that in mind before you hand over that $8,000. And here's something almost no one talks about: emotional freedom. When you own a cheap, reliable car outright, you stop worrying about every scratch, every door ding, every pothole. You park anywhere, you drive anywhere. You're not stressed about resale value every time you commute. That mental freedom is huge. And Consumer Reports indirectly points to this when they emphasize low-stress ownership and long-term durability. You also gain negotiating power in life. If you're not tied to a $500 or $800 monthly car payment, you can take risks, switch jobs, start a business, invest more, travel more. Cars are one of the biggest wealth killers for young and middle-income buyers, and choosing a simple $8,000 car is one of the easiest ways to break that cycle. And let's be honest, most people don't actually need cutting-edge tech. A good Bluetooth stereo, reliable air conditioning, power windows, and basic safety features are enough for 99% of daily driving. These compact sedans already offer that. Everything beyond that is a luxury, and luxury is exactly what your budget should not be chasing at this stage. Consumer Reports data also shows that these cars depreciate very slowly once they hit this age. That means if you buy a Corolla or Civic for $8,000 today and maintain it, you might sell it for $5,000 or $6,000 in a few years. That's an incredibly cheap cost of ownership compared to buying a newer car that can lose $10,000 to $20,000 in value in just a few years. And think about fuel. Gas prices may fluctuate, but efficient sedans consistently save you money. If you drive 12,000 miles a year, the difference between 20 miles per gallon and 35 miles per gallon can easily be hundreds or even thousands of dollars annually. Over 5 years, that alone can pay for major maintenance or your next car upgrade. So when Consumer Reports highlights these boring compact sedans, they're not being conservative, they're being strategic. They're showing you the mathematically optimal move for an $8,000 budget in 2026. It's not exciting, it's not flashy, but it's brutally smart. And if you're still tempted by that cheap luxury car or big SUV listing you saw online, ask yourself this: do you want a car that impresses strangers for a moment, or a car that quietly builds your financial future every single day? Because at $8,000, the smartest choice isn't about ego, it's about leverage. And let's take this one step deeper, because this is where most buyers completely misunderstand value. A car is not an investment in the traditional sense, but it can be a financial decision that either drains you or protects you. With $8,000, you're standing at a fork in the road. One path leads to predictable costs and steady savings. The other path leads to surprise repairs, or rising insurance and stress. Consumer Reports is basically pointing a giant arrow at the first path. Think about opportunity cost. Every extra dollar you put into a car is a dollar you're not putting into savings, stocks, a business, or even just emergency cash. If you buy a simple compact sedan and keep your monthly expenses low, you're quietly building financial momentum while everyone else is flexing depreciating metal. That's how real wealth strategies start: boring, disciplined, and invisible. And here's the brutal truth about newer cheap cars. Many budget-friendly modern vehicles cut costs with thinner materials, more plastic, and complex tech that's expensive to repair once the warranty is gone. Older, proven Japanese sedans were built in an era where reliability and longevity were core selling points. They weren't optimized for subscriptions, data collection, or flashy screens. They were optimized to survive abuse and high mileage. Consumer Reports also emphasizes something that doesn't get enough attention: consistency. These cars have decades of data showing predictable failure points and predictable repair costs. Mechanics know them, parts suppliers stock them, junkyards have them. That ecosystem keeps ownership cheap. When you buy something rare, luxury, or complicated, you're paying a premium every time something breaks. And if you're really strategic, you can treat your $8,000 car like a stepping stone. Drive it for 2 or 3 years, maintain it, maybe add a simple stereo or new tires, and then sell it with minimal loss. That money becomes your down payment on something better, this time from a position of financial strength, and not desperation. So when people ask, what's the best car for $8,000 in 2026? The honest answer isn't a flashy model name. It's a mindset. It's reliability over image, predictability over novelty, and total cost of ownership over monthly payment. That's exactly why Consumer Reports keeps pointing buyers toward those boring compact Japanese sedans, because boring is what actually works. And the craziest part? Most millionaires drove boring cars when they were building their wealth. They didn't start with luxury, they started with something reliable, cheap, and forgettable. Because the car was never the goal, the freedom was. So if you're serious about making the smartest possible move with $8,000 in 2026, don't chase the car that looks good on Instagram. Chase the car that disappears into your budget and quietly gives you control over your money, your time, and your future. And one more thing most people underestimate is how these cars handle real-world abuse. City driving, potholes, stop-and-go traffic, cheap fuel, delayed oil changes. These compact Japanese sedans were engineered with that reality in mind. They've been used by commuters, students, rideshare drivers, and delivery workers for decades, and they keep proving they can survive harsh conditions. That's exactly what you want when every dollar matters and downtime costs you money. Consumer Reports also points out that repair predictability is just as important as reliability. Even the most reliable car will eventually need brakes, tires, suspension parts, or a water pump. The difference is that on a Corolla or Civic, these repairs are straightforward and affordable. On a luxury or turbo vehicle, the same repair can involve specialty parts, extra labor hours, and dealership-only procedures. So it's not just about how often things break, it's about how painful it is when they do. And here's a subtle advantage in 2026 specifically. As cars get more connected, subscription-based, and software-controlled, older vehicles become immune to many future headaches. No subscription fees for heated seats, no paywalled features, no software updates that break things. You own the car fully. That simplicity is becoming rare, and ironically, it's becoming more valuable. Let's talk resale psychology for a second. When you go to sell a Corolla, Civic, or Mazda 3, buyers already trust the name. These models have built a reputation over decades. That makes selling easier, faster, and often at a better price. Try selling an obscure luxury model with high miles, and you'll feel the difference instantly. Liquidity matters, even in used cars, and if you're a first-time buyer, this is even more important. Your first car should teach you about ownership, maintenance, budgeting, and negotiation without financially destroying you. A simple $8,000 compact sedan is basically a training ground for smarter financial habits. It's forgiving, it's predictable, and it gives you room to make mistakes without catastrophic consequences. So when Consumer Reports highlights these vehicles, they're not just giving you a list, they're giving you a framework for thinking about cars like a financially intelligent person. Purchase price is only the beginning. Running costs, depreciation, insurance, how repairs, resale, and opportunity cost all matter more in the long run. And if you internalize that mindset with your first $8,000 car, you'll make smarter decisions for the rest of your life. Because once you realize that cars are tools and money is leverage, you stop chasing shiny objects and start building real financial stability.